Good morning, students. Today we are going to proceed ahead with the lesson Political Parties in Civics. In the earlier class, we have read about the various political parties at the national level. In today's class, we are going to take up the state parties and then we will take the challenges which are faced by the political parties. So, in the earlier class, we read about nearly 7 political parties which were classified as the national level parties. Now, apart from these national level parties, there are other parties also which are classified by Election Commission as a state level parties. However, some of the state level parties are regarded as all India parties because they have national level political organization with units in several states. We can take the example of Samajwadi Party and Rashtriya Janata Dal. However, there are certain parties like Biju Janata Dal, Sikkim Democratic Front, etc. They are conscious about the state identity only. Now, what happens sometimes in the parliament, no one national political party is able to secure majority on its own in the Lok Sabha. As a result, what happens? These parties they form an alliance with the state level parties. So, state level parties they also get an opportunity to be a part of one or the other national level coalition government. Now, finally, all this helps in strengthening of federalism and democracy in our country. Now, children, we will discuss some of the challenges which are faced by the political parties. The first challenge faced by these political parties is lack of internal democracy within the parties. What we see within the political parties all over the world is that there is concentration of power in one or few leaders at the top, and these parties they do not keep the membership registers, they do not hold organizational meetings, they do not conduct internal elections regularly, and ordinary members of the party they do not get sufficient information on what happens inside the party, and they do not have the means or even the connection to influence the decision. So as a result, what happens? The leaders they assume greater power to make decision in the name of party. The second challenge is of dynastic succession. What we read in the first challenge is that lack of internal democracy and there is no open and transparent procedure for the functioning of each political party. As a result, the ordinary workers they are not getting any chance to rise to the top in the party. Now, those who happen to be the leaders, they are in a position of unfair advantage to favor whom? Those people who are close to them or even their family members. So, in many parties, what we see is that the top positions are always controlled by the members of one family, and this is unfair to the other members. And this is also bad for democracy because people who are not having adequate experience or not having popular support they come and occupy the position of power. Now we take the third challenge before the political party. It is that of growing role of money and muscle power, and especially what we see during the election time. Since parties they focus only on winning the election, they tend to use shortcuts method and they nominate those candidates who have lot of money. The rich people and the companies who give funds to the parties, they tend to have influence on the policies and the decision of the party. Sometimes parties also support criminals who can win the election. The next challenge is the lack of meaningful choice to the voters. In recent years, what we have seen is that there has been a decline in the ideological differences among parties in most part of the world. And in our country also, the differences among all the major parties on economic policies they have reduced. So those people who really want different policies they have no option available to them, and at the same time people cannot even elect very different leaders because the same set of leaders they keep shifting from one party to another. So dear children, we have taken up the challenges today. Now in the next class we are going to see how parties can be reformed.